All right, so this is Kicking Ass, Taking Names podcast. We are here with Jeff Davis. Jeff, welcome.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it again.
Yeah.
We're back for the second time.
Back for the second time. So I'm going to go over this because I want to get it out in the ether. There was a situation. We had a couple episodes that were filmed. Mm-hmm. Jeff, you were our first guest ever. Mm-hmm. We did not end up keeping those episodes. Something dramatic happened. Mm-hmm. I won't go into detail. And then pretty much we lost those episodes. So we're refilming, we're rehashing. But what I want to do is I'm going to create an authentic conversation with you. And for the viewers, you guys haven't seen Jeff yet, but Jeff is a fitness coach, is an online coach. How do you define yourself?
Yeah, I'm a worldwide online fitness coach. I help people all over the world. A specific niche of people, but that's what I call myself.
And so let's go into that. What is your niche? Because before we go, people who don't know, like you, and I know you talked about it last time, and now I have kind of more of a background. Mm-hmm. So I feel like we can go even deeper into conversation about that. Yeah. But your niche or niche, what is your specific niche? Who's your primary and how did you choose that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, and this will pertain to just a lot of people that are watching this and you'll learn from this as well. I mean, you have a niche. I mean, you're doing specific people that have started in certain areas and anyone that has a business or a company, like the riches are in the niches. And the more that you narrow down your niche, which is what I've done, when I first got into fitness coaching, I wanted to just help everyone. You know, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll help everyone. And I've realized that the more that you just narrow down that hole of helping specific people that really you can speak to in a better way, you can speak to the masses. And so right now, up until January, I mainly like to help women. Like 85% of my clients right now are women, workaholic women that, you know, I help them like get their body and their confidence back without extreme dieting or cutting carbs. And I've been able to really narrow that down by a lot of the women that have came in. They're all workaholics. They all tell me they want their body back. They all tell me they want their confidence back. And all of them have been extreme dieting. Mm-hmm. You know, so I've been able to narrow that pain, you know, what they want, their body and their confidence, and then the pain without extreme dieting or cutting carbs, because that's what all of them have tried in the past. Mm-hmm. Do I still help men? Yes. Will I still help men? Yes. But it will be very select few of men. I don't know what it is, like when it comes to coaching, mm-hmm. but men don't fucking listen. Like they don't right. Listen. You tell them to do A, B, C, and they do A, F, and X. And they ask you how to do A when you've explained it. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's their stubbornness or whatever. Just women just listen a little bit better. Now, like with working with men, I've been able to really guide and coach and be like, hey, like this is what you need to do. This is the only thing you need to do, and do it. Like that's it. So that's who I help mainly right now. And I love it. And I want to tell you why that I've really came into helping more women. I wasn't raised by my biological father. I was raised by my mom and two stepdads. Okay. But as my mom was raising me, my mom does nails. She still does. And my grandma's owned a hair salon for 45 years. So my mom started in there. So as I was born, my mom, you know, was single. She was 19. She worked for her mom. Well, the only place she could really bring me was the salon. So I was literally born and raised around women. So I've been able to see women, how they, like even, again, you know, when you surround yourself with people like that for so long, you see how they function, you see how they act. I did that until I was like 13 years old. I was setting appointments for my grandma. I was seeing how they act, seeing how they eat, seeing how they do things. And like, I just know how to nurture women. I know how to say the things I need to say. I know how to get them to move in a direction that they need to move in without being too harsh. Sometimes I have to be harsh on my clients. Sometimes I'll be like, you need to pull your fucking head out of your ass. Like, you want this and you're doing this. Like, this is what, like you said you were done with this. Does that make sense?
Right. And you grew up very entrepreneurial. Like I grew up watching my father grow his business. I think I might have touched on it when we first recorded. A little bit, yeah. And so, I grew up with my father running his business and being around it. And I said, like, I have a natural advantage. Yeah. You have a natural advantage. Like from struggle, you were able to get an advantage over a lot of people who may not have seen how things are done firsthand. Now, there's also an advantage to being disadvantaged. But, you know, in terms of like being able to see someone and get that kind of fast track learning from watching her struggle, right? So let's go into, because we kind of went fast, but I want to make sure we also get that you have a brand, you are online, you have, a specific number of followers. I know you're saying followers before. You said that they weren't the most important thing. It's more about the quality of who is following you, what they're engaging with, and we'll go into that. But I know you had a couple of viral sensations on TikTok, and then you've had a couple of continuous growth with your online branding. So let's go into like, what is it that had you get started? Because I don't want to skip over what you said the first time we recorded, which was your core story, right? Something about, I don't want to answer all the questions, but a while ago you said some stuff happened. You had some stuff that happened that was, if we can go into that story, that'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and before we go into the story, I know we talked, what was the main story? Do you remember? I do remember slightly about some things, but what was the...
Well, don't even worry about it. Just you go off of what your story is.
Love that. Okay.
And your struggle, because I don't want you to say what you said last time, because you're not going to be able to copy what you said.
Perfect. So answering your question, I mean, building a brand has not been easy. And I still have my struggles every single day. And as an entrepreneur, as someone that's building a brand, you're going to, I said this, I think I said this the last time, I say this to a lot of different people, is that at new levels, there's going to be new evils. And as I continue to get better, there's new things that I learn. There's new things that I'm just like, oh my God, like seriously, there's always going to be something new. And as I started my Instagram back in like 2012 or 2011, and then I really got into competing, and I realized that in competing that I'm like, well, geez, I'm trying to like build my name up. I'm trying to like go kind of big in competing when I was, 26 years old. I'm like, well, I better do this Instagram thing. I better post pictures of my abs and all this stuff. And that's really where it started, with just building me up. Now, I didn't know I was going to have a brand. I knew ever since getting in the working world, like when I was knocking on guys' doors, neighbors' doors when I was like, I don't know, 10 years old. Like, hey, do you have any work for me to do? Like, I just want to make some money. That's all I wanted to do. I'm like, I just want to make some money. And my grandma helped me with that. I was like, what could I do? Because I helped her at the salon, but I could only help so much, especially at a young age. She said, well, why don't you go knock on the neighbors' doors and go ask these guys if you can mow their lawn or whatever. And I did that. I like mowed everyone's lawn. There was a farmer that lived next to me. I mowed his lawn. I painted his fence. And that's how I like really started my entrepreneurial journey. And as I got into competing, I'm like, man, I would really love to like work for myself. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I would just really love to. And everyone always told me, because I was in the service industry for like 9 years during my competitive run, everyone always said like, you would be really good in real estate, or you would be really good at just like working for yourself. You just do really well on your own. And got into real estate as I was still competing, and that carried me for quite a long ways, but I still just wasn't satisfied. I still just wasn't okay with people telling me like what to do and having systems in place and people not following the systems that are in place. And it was just frustrating. And finally, I took the leap of constantly building, posting the pictures and doing all the things. I finally had, as I was competing and as I was doing real estate, the coach that I was coached under, he asked me, hey, do you want to help me with some clients? Do you want to work underneath me? I'm like, yes, I would love to do that. And that's when I really started my online fitness coaching, was back in 2016 at a very, very small level. Like, I was charging his prices, but even after I was not coaching with him, I was charging like $100 a month, and it was just not enough. I'm like, God, how could I ever do this, charging $100 a month? And I've been able to scale that now to a 6-figure plus per year business. I've got a team of people that work for me. So I have an assistant coach and an assistant and an onboarding specialist, and 60 plus clients right now. And I've been able to just constantly grow that. But it does have good and bad days. And honestly, there's more bad days than there is good. And anyone, like any entrepreneur, anyone that's growing a business, like you're going to have bad days. And the one thing that I tell everyone, I think I've told this to you, Shaq, is just like, don't quit. Like, we are in such a culture right now of like cancel culture and quit culture. Like when shit gets hard in your relationship or with your health or with anything, people just fucking quit. And it's just like, just keep going. Oh, I want the next best thing. Or, it's just like, the thing that you're doing most likely will work. You're just not consistent. And that I see that so much these days. People just aren't consistent. They put in, well, I've been in this for a year. I've been in this relationship for a couple of years and it's just not working. It's like, yeah, because relationships are just so easy. They're just so easy. Same with work and your health. Like, just stick with it and just stop quitting.
Jeff, you said something on the last episode that I for sure want to make sure we touch on.
Yeah.
And that is that you said 9 years ago you went all in on yourself. There was something that was going on. There was things that going on in your life. And then also I saw that you did get injured. And I just wanted to see if you can talk about that progression and that and how that relates to your entrepreneurship.
Yeah, I mean, 9 years ago, it's 20. Wow, yeah, 20. Yeah, that's when I started competing. I truly just in the mirror was not okay with who I was. Like, I was just not confident. And this really goes into the people that I help. Is like, if you look at yourself in the mirror every single day, if there's a change or if there's something that you are not okay with, just change it.
Yeah.
And you can't change it overnight, but you can take action on it. And the moment that I said yes to me is when everything turned around. Because as I started to get coached by someone and learn how to compete and develop the body that I wanted to, I became more confident in myself as who I was. And so I competed for that, 6 years. And then I was at the top of my competing career, almost turned pro. And then I broke my femur. And I'm like,
how'd you break it again?
I was wakeboarding.
Oh,
and I had been wakeboarding for over a decade. Like, I did it in high school. I instructed it. I coached it. And that was just something I really, really enjoyed. It was awesome. But unfortunately, living in the Midwest, you can't do it all year round. So you can only do it for a few months and then it's over and done with. But so that was another obstacle I had to face. Competing was fun. It was a blast. But that was an obstacle that, I essentially kind of manifested that break. I really did. I could talk to you about that, but I did. I literally was supposed to compete at a pro-am show. I think it was here. It was USA's, and I had just come off of a huge win back home. So I had won the whole show. I was the overall winner in the men's physique division. And I'm like, okay, the plan is with me and my coach to go to USA's and, well, first I'm going to go to Dallas and then I'm going to go to USA's and try to go pro again.
Yeah.
And I literally, before I even went, I told him, I was thinking in my head, like, I don't want to compete in that show. And I'm just going to tell him that over the 4th of July, I was in a wakeboarding accident. I literally said that for months. And it happened. So
that's crazy.
I know. So anyone that's watching this, like, just be honest. And if you don't want to do something, and a lot of people don't do that these days, is they're just not honest and transparent, and they have no fucking boundaries. And if you don't want to do something, just tell someone you don't want to do something.
Right.
Because if you think of that kind of stuff, it literally will happen. And it happened to me. I'm like, oh my God, anyways, I don't want to go off on a tangent. That happened. And I'm like, okay, well, I can't compete. What do I do? I continued in real estate. And that's when a business coach had reached out to me on Instagram. I remember his name, Sterling Griffin.
Right.
He reached out a few times and wanted me to invest it's like $7,000 into this company. And he was going to help me build my brand and I could charge all the money in the world. I'm like, there's no way we could do this. There's no way I can charge $1,200 or $1,500 for a 3-month program when I used to charge $100 a month.
Yeah.
I'm like, that can't happen. So he reached out again when I broke my leg. I'm like, you know what? I don't have any, I don't know if I'm going to compete again. I should just try it. And I literally went all in 2020. In 2020, I invested in him, and it was the best decision I had ever made, because then in July of 2021, I was able to go full time and work on my own as an entrepreneur. And it was the scariest / best thing ever. And it was scary because there's no certainty. It's not certain that I'm getting a paycheck. It's not certain that I'm going to get clients.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I could do was get online and start building a brand that I had no idea how to build. I'm like, am I doing this right? Am I posting the right things? Am I just doing all this? And yeah, it's been an amazing journey. And like I said, there's been more downs than there has been ups. But I've learned lessons from all these downs. I've learned along the way. And the one thing that I've learned along the way of being an entrepreneur is you have to invest in yourself.
Yep.
You have to have mentors. You have to have coaches. And some people are like, you don't have to. What if you don't have the money? Find the money. Or not even that, just go find, if you don't have the money right now, that's fine, but at least go and share the things that you're struggling with. I see that so much these days. And I think this month isn't this month like men's mental health awareness or something like that, or suicide awareness, or
are we in November right now?
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it is. And they say that men like are more apt to do this than women are. And just anyone, like if you're struggling with your relationship, if you're struggling with your health, if you're struggling with your business, your bank account, like if you're broke, if anything, just say something to someone. It can be anyone. I remember when I was struggling with my finances so bad, I was so embarrassed to tell anyone because I was just like, well, I'm this coach and, you know, I've got this brand and like, I don't want to admit to anyone that my finances are struggling, but I was spending more than I was making.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if this goes on any longer, and when I'm making 7 figures a year, 7 figures a month, this will be a disaster, not just for me, but for my family. And so I reached out to someone that I barely knew. I barely knew this guy. And I knew that he really helps people with finances. I'm like, dude, I am struggling really, really bad. And I'm really scared. So it was like a healthy fear for the future if this continues. And he's helped me, and I haven't looked back since, and everything has been amazing since then. But just ask for help. Like, don't be afraid. No one is going to judge you. And I think everyone, even men, are just so afraid to tell people that that they're weak in a way.
Yeah.
That
vulnerability.
Yeah. Yeah. Vulnerability. Yeah. It's like, it's okay. Like, tell a stranger. Those are the best people to tell. Because they don't even know you. So they can't judge you. They literally can't. It will be way easier for you. This is going to be a huge nugget for you guys, whoever watches this. Is literally, I understand if you don't want to tell your wife, your girlfriend, your husband, or whomever, like whatever demographic is watch this, or the close people around you that you suck at something, or you're not good at doing something, or you're in a financial hole, or if you did something, then find someone. There's so many avenues that you can look for online, on social media. There's so many experts in different fields that you could literally reach out to someone. And if you don't have the money, that's fine. There are people out there that will help you. I've had psychologists help me because at the beginning of my financial hardship, I told them, like, I need help with this, and and he offered to help me. He was a doctor, and he helped me for like a month and a half, but it was someone to voice my frustration to, voice some things of where I'm struggling, and another set of ears, another set of eyes that literally told me some things that helped me.
This goes back into the theme of coaching, right? Like you're in the life and fitness coaching arena. And so for you, reaching out to coaches, and the main thing that you're saying is like the coaching, like you really truly believe in that. And that's like kind of your theme is like, if you work with people, you can't do anything alone. You gotta have people who are with you. Like nobody gets anywhere in this world alone completely. And everybody's had help in one form or another. And like if you could tell like the people who might see this, okay, that are gonna say like, hey, I'm struggling with this and that, and a lot of times it's their fitness, right? I know people who have struggles with their fitness, right? That's something that they're concerned about. So what is it that you say to them? Because like their mindset is right now, like, I'm struggling. I've always been like genetically, like I've been good. I don't have like a thyroid issue. I don't have this and that. Yeah. But a lot of people, they struggle with so many things. So what's your advice? What do you tell those people? Because you get on calls with these people. What do you say to them?
I do. So most people that come to me are like, hey, I want to lose weight. I want to tone up.
Yeah.
Like that's like the thing. I want to lose weight and tone up. No shit, you do. Welcome to the world. That's everyone just wants to lose weight and tone up. I'm like, why? Why? Because I don't like what I see in the mirror. What don't you like that you see in the mirror? Well, I don't like that when I step out of the shower naked, I feel really uncomfortable. Tell me more. I usually will say, expand on that for me. Well, when I want to make love to my partner, I have to shut the lights off. How does that make you feel? Not good. Okay. Where would you like to be? Well, geez, I would just like to be able to make love with my partner, you know, have the lights on. I'd like to step out of the shower and just be able to like enjoy what I see. Those are the things I ask. I ask the questions, I really want to know where they're at in their pain. Like losing 15 pounds and toning up is not painful.
Yeah.
That's not painful.
Yeah.
Not wanting to have sex with your partner with the lights off when you can't see them, that's painful.
Right.
When you have to hide yourself in clothing,
yeah,
because you think that you don't enjoy your body, or you think that you're fat. You're not fat. You're not fat. You have fat. You're not fat. That's painful.
Right.
That's what I ask, and I really get into detail, and that's the dream that I'm selling. Mm. Hey, if I get you to enjoy your body again, if I can get you confident in yourself again, if I can get you to fit into those clothes again, or be able to put a 2-piece on instead of a 1-piece, how would that make you feel? Fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Not if, well, what if I got you to lose 15 pounds? How'd it feel? Oh, good. That's not painful. Though there's other fitness coaches on here, and that's anything when it comes to even real estate. Like, even asking people like, why do you want to move? We just don't like the area. Why? Why? Just keep asking why. Why? Like, why? Get down to the bottom of actually, because that's the thing when it comes to vulnerability, is people will tell you surface level shit. Mm-hmm. If you don't keep asking, you're going to get surface level answers.
Yeah.
The deeper questions you ask, the deeper questions you get, the deeper answers you're going to get. The deeper questions you ask is going to result in deeper answers. And
right.
That's for anything. Again, like I said, even with real estate, I even learned that when I was selling real estate. It's like, it's not just about why they want to move. It's not just about the house. Like, no, ask them, what's your Christmas been like? Well, it's been really, really crowded, and it's just not fun in our living room. We have 20 people that come over, and it's like, we're like, fighting around each other and stuff like that. So if we found a piece of real estate that had a really big living room and a really big kitchen with a huge island for you that has soft closed drawers.
So what's that for your clients though? Like you're saying, and you, like you said, that's one specific scenario. Like, what are you, in general, what is the message that you're saying to them? Because they might be thinking like, okay, that sounds good, but how does that pertain to me? Right.
Well, I listen to the pain. So every time that they are coming to me, sorry, I got off on a whole ADHD tangent there, but I just wanted everything to pertain to everything. But I make sure, and this is one thing that I make sure that I do when my future clients are telling me their pain, is I'm listening to them. Mm-hmm. And if I'm listening and taking notes and repeat back everything I tell them that they told me, I won't miss anything.
Yeah.
Now, if they say, no, that's not it, I mean, that very rarely happens. They might just not align with me. They might not align with my coaching. And not everyone's going to. Like, that's one thing that I really watch out for, is like, okay, who aligns in here? Are you a good fit? Am I a good fit for you? Because I don't want someone working with me that's not a good fit. Like, because that does happen. And when that happens, then normally there's usually some friction when it comes to like client and coach relationship. And if they're not compliant and everything like that, then you have to unfortunately get rid of them. You know what I mean? So that's really, those are some of the main things that I really, really focus on. When I talk to people, it only usually takes about 30 minutes to really to break down what's really going on. Then from there, after we do that, we build a plan, we build a program around their lifestyle. We're not telling them to go out and live this whole, start this whole brand new lifestyle by working out 6 days a week and doing cardio 6 days a week and eating 6 meals a day. No, we want them just to ingrain some new, really good habits that are super simple, so that they can feel like they move forward every single day.
Right.
Instead of them missing 4 workouts or only doing 3 and them feeling like they're not moving the needle, when 3 workouts a week is actually pretty good for, a lifestyle client. And having 2 clean meals a day is actually really good. And just being able to get at least 60 ounces of water in every day is really, really good. Because everyone's been told that, you got to cut carbs, you have to work out all this time. And so they always feel like they're not moving the needle forward. So that's what I really do. And then we just provide a really intimate experience with our clients. And then after a year and a half, when they've gotten to the place and they've learned our foundations and our strategies of how we do macros, and how they learn how to go to maintenance, and how they learn how to stay at maintenance, and how when they know how to do their own little cutting phase, we'll let them go so that they know how to do it on their own. So they don't have to go hire another coach. They don't have to go find another fad diet or another 30-day keto plan. They can do this on their own.
Yeah.
And that right there, teaching them how to do those things, that's where the confidence comes in, is by just them putting in the reps every single day. That's how all of my clients get their confidence. Now, we do go a little deeper when it comes to the mindset piece, because everyone's always in their way. And that's when we just break down, and we do the same thing when it comes to bringing on a new client. I just ask questions. Why are you feeling like this? What's going on? Well, I have this, this, and this. Okay, well, set your fucking boundaries. If you're so busy, say no. Start saying no more often instead of saying yes.
And so my question is then, one question for you is, why did you choose coaching?
I chose coaching because it's just so fulfilling. It's so fulfilling. There's so many things to do out there. And there's days that sometimes I want to burn my business to the ground because I'm just like, oh God, sometimes I just don't want to do it. But when I can help someone and have like a transformative call, like, hey, this is all you need to do. And by the way, like, even though you didn't lose weight, even though you went down 2 inches, even though that your digestion is normal, even though that you have more energy and you're having more sex with your partner and you're sleeping 7 hours a night, like, that's a win. And people are just like, really? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And just seeing my clients, like, see how happy they are and seeing just like their lives transform is so fulfilling to me. Whenever I'm having a bad day, I literally will get on a check-in call with one of my clients because, I will take that down energy and I will completely transform it by just helping one of my clients into a positive. And it's just so fulfilling to me. It's not easy, because there's so many variables. I have to really help my clients because most people are so like, they think the only measure of progress is the scale. Yeah. And I teach them it's not. There's so many other units of measure that you can measure your progress. And so most people weren't educated enough. And
one next thing I was going to ask you, what is your, what's your social media advice? You clearly have done well, social media.
Keep putting the reps in. Keep putting the reps in. Whoever it is that you help, make sure you speak to those people. Take notes. Like, whoever you talk to, take notes. Ask them what they're struggling with. Write down those struggles. Use those words in your marketing. Some people don't do that. Some people are just posting just to post. And I've done that. Like, I've done it. I'm just like, oh, I'm going to post. Copy what works. Go see what other people are doing in your industry. You don't have to reinvent the fucking wheel.
Right.
You don't have to.
One thing you've done has been consistent. You've been doing it for like social media. You've been posting just consistent. Like, one thing I can admire is you've done it forever. Like, you just keep posting. I think you have like 3,000 something posts on Instagram or something.
Yeah. There's a lot. I've even deleted some. I went back and deleted some of my old ones. I've slowly been doing that, but just maybe things that aren't relevant. Consistency is huge. It's just like the gym. If you want bigger biceps, if you go lift biceps once or 4 times in a month, once a week, you're not going to notice that they're that much bigger. But if you do it for a year, like, you're going to notice some difference. Not maybe a huge difference, but you'll notice a difference. And then just learning. Like, I study. Some people just don't do that. They don't want to take the time to study about what's working, what's not working. I think one of the biggest things too is what I said is, like, some people just don't. They just try to reinvent the wheel and they get really overwhelmed. Making content's hard because you want to stay. You want to really stay relevant, but it's not about the likes. Right. It's not about the views. Some people say, well, it is. It's about the exposure. Okay, it is. Yes, it's great. But I was at my mentorship. We do a lot. My coach, Sean Whalen, does a mentorship. He does a live event every year. And one of his really good friends, Dan Fleischman, was up there, and they were talking about content. And he was talking about one of his friends, and he's an accountant. And he said that he has posted so much accountant shit, which is boring as fuck, over the last however many years. But he's got over 700 and some odd million views because he's just constantly showed up. And that's like, the more you keep showing up, regardless, just make sure to give value every time you're posting. Just give value to the marketplace. Don't be always posting and bragging about yourself or, how great you are. Yeah, tell your story. It's good to do that, but don't tell it too much because people will be like, okay, I already know your fucking story.
I've already heard this before.
Give value in your content that people can literally take away from that piece of content and use today, so that they can see, they can use it in their life and see some results. or see some success. Not immediately, but that's consistency. Give value to the marketplace and copy what works. And the next thing is just like I said earlier, don't quit.
Right.
Don't quit. Don't quit. Just keep going. Yeah, I've had a couple of things go viral on TikTok. Things that I didn't want to go viral.
Cat video.
Like a cat video and like some food video. You know what I mean? But it helped. I was able, like those 2 posts really grew my following. Like 0 to like 16,000. And I mean, that really happened within like 7 months.
Yeah.
And then I stopped because I was just like, I got bored.
But you also said that it wasn't converting into
clients
because some of the content wasn't relevant to what you were doing.
Yeah. But now I'm, oh my gosh. Like
less is more kind of is your mentality with it when you told me last time.
100%. And so I really got off of TikTok and really was focusing on Facebook and Instagram. But those platforms lately have just been sucking, like when it comes to the algorithm. And I'm not sorry for saying that.
Wait, which ones?
Instagram and Facebook. I mean, Facebook's okay, but Instagram, like the algorithm just is horrible.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, it's just horrible. So now I'm back on TikTok and I'm just focusing on I really only post stuff now about my niche, fitness, nutrition, mindset. I'll post some stuff about my life, but I really focus on that because I really want people to see, like, I'm not posting political shit. I'm not posting, like, I don't need to and I don't want to.
Right.
I don't want to. I want to help people. Okay. I want to help people. I'll post some positive quotes and stuff like that. But TikTok lately, I've been going live like 4 or 5 times a week. And at 16,000 followers, I've been having where there's in an hour, I'll have 2,000 to 5,000 people that show up in my live video.
Really?
And just ask me question after question after question after question. Now, they're not 2,000 to 5,000 in one shot, but it stays at a constant 50 to a couple hundred people. That's been a game changer. And if you're not utilizing TikTok for your brand, some people are like, oh, TikTok is just a dance. Like, no. If you actually utilize it with your brand and create your own little character within yourself, I don't care who it is, but that's what people need to do is you need to create your own character that people can really relate to. If I'm just some regular old fitness coach that's like, you do your macros. Like, I am just a spot on the map. I want to throw in some comedy, educate, inspire, and what's the other one that I do? Educate, inspire, and oh my God, I
just make it up.
No, I can't. It's educate, inspire, entertain. That's it. So I'm doing those 3 things, and if you're doing that constantly, but if you're just like educating people all the time, great, that's awesome. Right. But it will take you longer to grow that following. Right. TikTok lives are where it's at right now. Like,
don't you have to have like 1,000 followers or something to get that?
I think so.
Or
something like that? I told a couple of my buddies, I'm like, you guys need to get on TikTok live right now because it is so easy for people to come on. And TikTok rewards people. So if you have people and they see people joining, like they will throw more people into the algorithm and people will just they will just funnel in. And it's happened. I mean, I've had as much as like 290 people in my live at one time. Yeah. Which is super cool, super unheard of. And I'm speaking on a topic. Yeah. I'll have one topic that I speak about in the beginning, and then I'll get questions after questions. And if you're going on TikTok, you can those TikTok lives actually save. I actually will go through there, and every question that I was asked is all content. How do I get my macros? Right. That's a topic. How do I gain weight? That's a piece of content. I go to sleep. I only get 4 hours of sleep. Blah 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 blah. So I've got questions, hundreds of questions for topics.
Yeah, and then you can use that as content.
100%, and then I can repurpose it. I can use it on YouTube, everything like that.
Yeah.
So that's some gold right there for you, for anyone that's in the social media space or trying to grow your following. And it's just I'm just learning. I've just learned that from people. And my assistant coach is like, you need to go live on TikTok. I'm like, why? Why would I go live on TikTok? When I go live, having 20,000 followers on Instagram, I go live, there's like 5 people that join.
Yeah, exactly.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's no way she's like, no, just trust me, you got to go. And I did it. And I'm so grateful that she told me to do that. Right. It was just a game changer. Because again, I'm just there to drop more value and just help more people, which has then got people to sign up for my coaching, go see my content, vice versa.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, you're killing it, dude, and keep going. And obviously,
I appreciate it.
I'm going to be moving out of the core soon, so we'll be able to.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We're hanging out at the new house.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, maybe we'll make some, I'll probably do some like barbecues. And also, I want to do my own little kind of like separate segment from this over there. So like, badass. I'll have, because I'm like kind of looking at my content strategy too. So I'm getting knowledge and value from this as well, because I'm trying to think about, okay, well, if I have just this, I got to put the sign there for the podcast stuff. But every little item that I can and just like stack on, like, okay, all the topics, the repurposing, this and that. So it's like, it's all good, because this stuff people think is like obvious, but it's not. It's not brand new. No. Like it's brand new. Like to a lot of it, to a degree, is brand new. So I think that for people to hear that, it's just good, because you might not be thinking about that, but like you got to think about your brand in a certain way. You got to think about building your business a certain way. You got to think about, and like that's not the whole point of what this podcast is in general, but I like to throw that in there. Yeah. Because if you're looking for that, like that's perfect. Like you get that. But if you're also, you want to know what that person did to get there, because sometimes there's drivers that are more important. Like if you, and you know that, like if you're not in this mindset where I really want to do something with my life, that's what I like to get that trigger on what people do. So if you don't know what you really want to do in your life, then like no matter what your strategy is, how's it going to work?
Well, yeah. And that's why I say, just like go test shit, go see what you like.
Yeah.
If you like skiing, if you like knitting, if you like pottery, I don't know, go find something that just freaking like ticks you. And some people are so afraid to go try shit.
I have actually a good thing to say to this.
I mean, I just want to say one thing before you do. It's like my wife and I were just in Barbados last week, and we were going to go scuba diving. We did go scuba diving. And my wife was fucking nervous. She's like, I don't know if I want to do this, Jeff. Because it's scary. I mean, you're breathing underneath water and you're in like 50 feet of water.
Yeah.
I'm like, I get it, babe. I'm a little nervous too. And she almost pulled out, and I'm like, no, don't do that, please. When we got done, she was just fucking on top of the world. She's like, that was so much fun. I want to do it again. I was like, should we get certified? She's like, I just want to go again. So just try shit. Like even when we went skiing in Vail last year, like I knew she'd only skied once.
Right.
Took her down the mountain. She just fucking loves it. So it's like we found something we can now do more together of. But people are so afraid. They're like, oh, I can't do that. Just go fucking try it.
And you know what's, it's just, I just have to say this. When people let things stop them, and I'm gonna talk about this because I actually have like, I even have a YouTube video online that's like how to build your Fiverr account. Because I mean, like, dude, this is the perfect segue to getting into starting a business. Like this was like, I was lucky to find, I started on Fiverr. I became a seller on Fiverr.
That's awesome.
And I started with a gig video, because I noticed everybody else. And I started, I'm going to do cold calls. And I'm like, hey, I'm going to do cold calls for you. I did a quick little video. And then people started saying like, man, I really love your video. Like I didn't even have a TikTok or Instagram or YouTube or nothing. Yeah. It was one video, and it was on Fiverr, but the search engine put me at the top. I started getting a bunch of like people reaching out to me like, hey, I have a new business. I have this, I have that. It's like, but that was my brand. And then all I did was just and people are like, oh, I don't know, I got to get my, this, I got to get a business registered. It's like, that literally takes $200 and 20 minutes.
Yeah,
you just pay online. You can go, don't even, like those companies, they're not going to like me for saying it, but those companies that are like, hey, register your business with us. We'll do it for you. Get rid of all the stress and whatever. It's not hard. You just go to literally the Secretary of State for your state that you want to register your business. Yep. You fill out a form and you pay $200, and then a week later you get it. Done. So it's like you do nothing. And then people are worried about, and then for example, branding, logo, this and that. My logo, like, I'll be serious. The logo for this podcast cost $15, and I had like 40 iterations.
Yeah, that's so. And did you do it, or did you have someone on Fiverr? I
had someone on Fiverr do it.
Yeah, I've done the same thing. I've used Fiverr so much, and that's what holds people back.
Yeah,
from doing shit and then starting a business. Like, well, I need the business.
Yeah, like logo.
Yeah,
website.
I need a bank account. You can get on
Weebly for a website. You can get on. I mean, I don't really like Weebly, but you can get on WordPress. Learn like in 5 hours. You could learn how to do a little, WordPress template, whatever. You can get like, I use Divi Builder, but there's like other builders and stuff.
I don't even have a fucking website.
Yeah.
I don't have one.
I have one.
I've built,
not for this podcast.
I built my 6-figure coaching company with zero website.
Right.
No paid ads, nothing.
Right.
Not a single thing. I know a coach right now in the industry. I don't know him personally, but I know the gal that worked for him.
Yeah.
That they actually do sales virtually for his company. And he does anywhere from 100 to 200 grand a month. And he does not run paid ads. He does organic marketing. And like,
what is he doing? Like viral TikToks or something? Or what is it?
No, he does the same thing I do.
Yeah.
He helps his niche. He speaks to his niche. He speaks to.
Are we talking about Brandon here?
No. No. His name is Maverick. Maverick Online Coaching.
Okay.
And he speaks directly to women. He helps divorcees and single moms lose 25 plus pounds without doing keto or something else. And he has tightened up his marketing so much that's the kind of people that he has coming in. But I just love that you said, like, you don't need to worry about all the little bullshit.
Yeah,
just
I see
start.
that so much, man.
I know. Just start. Just do it.
Yeah.
There's no right or wrong way.
Right.
There's no right or wrong way. Like, you just and this is what holds people back. They don't take action. They think they need to do all these bullshit ass things. It's like, yeah, you need to do that stuff, but honestly, like, until you have like a 6-figure business, like, you don't even need to worry about that.
And here's
shit
what I would also say. The last thing for me personally was when you feel the fire, you want to do something. If you're settled on, you want to do it, don't stop at the beginning. Go harder at the beginning and take a rest after your first month. Because if you don't get the momentum, it really hurts you and hinders you. Like, I was like, okay, I need to get this done. I need to get the, like, register, branding, spot, location, studio, lighting, camera, everything. And so I figured all those pieces out, whether someone's going to help me or not. And I even had a freaking bad, like, I did business with someone that didn't have my best intentions. Yep. And I lost 4 episodes. And we had a great episode where there were certain things in that episode we're not going to get back. Yep. There's certain things we're going to get in this episode that we didn't have in that last episode. But like, I had to do it because I was like, this is it. Like, I'm not going to let anything stop me at this point.
You're determined.
Yeah. So like,
you've got some momentum right now.
Yeah, that's the momentum, and it's not gonna stop, man. Like, nothing's gonna slow me down, dude. Not at this point. So I was gonna say, like, I know you have your thing you have to go to, like 12:30, whatever. So I want to let you go, man. But I appreciate the time. I appreciate everything.
Yeah, dude. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And anyone that's listening to this, please, like, go subscribe to his podcast, all the platforms that he's got it on. And then one thing I want to give you guys, like, a takeaway, because I always like to give takeaways, is like, just invest in yourself. If you don't have a lot of money to invest in yourself, just invest the time and the actions. And just like what Shaq has done to, like, create what it is that he wants to, a place that he can bring people in and share their story so you guys can hear it, so you guys can take some value from it, is he's just taken the steps, like, imperfectly. And there's been things that have not worked out in his favor, but he's just taken the steps. But invest in yourself, take action, and don't stop. Just keep going. There's going to be hardships. There's going to be walls. There's going to be obstacles. You're going to think that you can never get over them. They're going to feel like mountains. Just keep climbing, and you will get there. So thanks for having me today, Shaq.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. Yep. Jeff Davis. Thanks.